For anyone who has ever taken a management course, the message is clear. Focus on the tangible metrics and quit having fun. Even though managers focus on coordinating the efforts of other people, people are often left out of the equation. In other words, management seems to inordinately focus on data and ignores the basic qualities of humanity in the people it seeks to direct. But what if we added some spontaneity to our management style? What if we characterize the surprising and unexpected as an opportunity rather than an obstacle to be avoided? What if we allowed our innate human need for growth to inform our change initiatives? And what if we began enjoying the collaborative human connections and spontaneity of the work itself? Well, the 21st century is the age of constant and often unrelenting change. While this is not the place for a philosophical discussion as to why we are changing so rapidly, the effect is that we humans are receiving continuous demands to modify, adapt, or even totally transform what we have been doing. And we do this in order to remain relevant in our careers and capable of competing in the global marketplace. But change often terrifies many people. It is not the change itself that is so frightening. In fact, we might even desire the outcomes of those changes. But it is the fear of letting go of the past in order to move forward to a speculative future. As is well known, there are no guarantees as to what the future will actually hold. Therefore, the truly frightening thing about change lies in the transition period between the way things are now and the way things might be in the future. And it is in this fear that we attempt to control the unforeseeable. So we forget how to be spontaneous. So here's the argument for a culture of serendipity. As taught in universities, the cornerstones of management are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Now, leadership requires managers to interact with subordinates, peers, and other followers in order to ensure that the company moves forward towards its goals. But a more disturbing trend in many business schools is that courses focusing on these uniquely human aspects of managerial competencies are being viewed as electives that are not required for graduation. So think about it. Understanding how to effectively and proactively lead and manage people is not considered to be an essential skill for higher education in business. In other words, are the four cornerstones of management, planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, really the only way to achieve success in an age of constant and unrelenting change? By ignoring the human component in the modern organizations, managers ignore the role that creativity, innovation, commitment, and belief play in moving the company as a whole through the dreaded transition period of change. Therefore, the ability to allow or even encourage serendipity during organizational change should be an important competency in a company's change leaders. Now, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, serendipity is defined as luck that takes the form of finding valuable or pleasant things that are not looked for. Luck is something that most business schools and organizations attempt to avoid at all costs because it can't be controlled. It can't be planned for. It can't be predicted. But consider this. Luck equals preparation plus opportunity. Creating luck, therefore, does not mean sitting back and doing nothing, simply waiting for luck to appear and make everything better. What we call luck requires preparation so that we have the tools in order to respond to unforeseen opportunities. These specific, unanticipated opportunities may not be predictable, such as new markets or customers. They may even be cloaked in rapidly emerging developments, such as technology or lifestyle changes. They may even arise as the result of chance meetings, such as a chance encounter with a desirable job candidate who had previously been off the market. But a culture that is open, curious, and committed to exploring new ideas provides the foundation upon which serendipity can not only exist, but also flourish. Luck and serendipity can become cultural characteristics that are nurtured and developed throughout and beyond the change initiative. A culture of serendipity provides much needed balance during organizational change by reminding us of the fact that while we can plan for the future, we cannot accurately predict the future. But in far too many change initiatives, rigid managerial standards are used to transition the organization from where it is to where it wants to go. Now, this gap analysis focuses exclusively on actions that we assume will lead to predicted results. So as a result, we rely too much on models and biased assumptions that can ultimately blur the ability to see and respond to what is happening now. While I'm a firm believer in analysis to understand the underlying causes of any event, either good or bad, I also firmly believe that sometimes we need to let go of these models so that we can be more responsive to what is occurring around us. As technology evolves, the big data allows us to drill down into a myriad of factors that are correlated with the effects and outcomes of our actions. By understanding the why, we are able to focus our attention on activities that are aligned with these correlations and not waste time on other activities because it's much more efficient, right? But life is what happens when you're planning something else. In many change initiatives, we attempt to manage the transition by spending too much time on the preparatory actions that we expect to result in success or luck, but ignoring the importance and desirability of being open to new, unexpected opportunities. So, how do you create a culture of serendipity? Well, if you think back over your professional and personal lives, you might find that many of your so-called lucky experiences were often not directly related to your planning efforts. More than likely, the luck was the result of being in the right place at the right time and with the right skills. So if a large client suddenly wants information about your company, are you prepared with that information? If the market has been steadily increasing its use of automation, have you been committing the necessary resources to ramping up your technology and educating your staff on how to use it? Serendipity, luck, and preparation work together to create an environment in which fortuitous opportunities are more likely to happen. A culture of serendipity requires not only planning, but also a workforce that is encouraged and supported to be present, curious, and open to the unforeseeable. So serendipity is an expansion of the traditional management model of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, and it is necessary to create a flexible workforce that is able to respond to unforeseen circumstances. Plus, serendipity creates a much kinder and gentler workplace that embraces the humanity of its workforce. So here are 5 tips to help you embrace serendipity during organizational change initiatives. Number 1, be ready. Now, serendipity does not eradicate the need for planning. Even though the company is undergoing organizational change, the daily operations must still continue. Customizable templates enhance the ability to immediately respond to RFPs. On-demand learning keeps employees abreast of industry trends and opens discussions to allow ideas to percolate in developing potential responses. And providing continuity in the areas that are not the focus of the change initiative also creates islands of stability that can counteract change-related burnout. Number 2, be curious. Due to the wide variety of factors impacting it, change is unpredictable and is better led than managed. And leadership requires an openness to new ideas and perspectives to address employees' hearts as well as their minds. Embracing a culture in which curiosity is encouraged leads to greater employee questioning, creativity, and innovation in responding to challenges and opportunities. Unexpected events will occur during a change initiative, but curiosity and looking outside the immediate environment allows new ideas to emerge, which can be then adapted to resolve the challenges emanating from the change initiative. Number 3, be visible. It is very common for change leaders to hunker down during a change initiative and devote their waking hours and even their nightly dreams to managing the change. As a result, conversations and interactions are relegated to the rigid confines of their immediate networking circle. But because change can be unpredictable, this can prevent the serendipitous insights that exist outside these self-imposed boundaries. Expand your horizons, both intellectually and geographically, in order to create opportunities in which the luck of serendipity can occur. I mean, after all, a change initiative inherently moves people outside their comfort zones. So create ways to move outside your current box. Number 4, be willing to let go of something that is no longer working. This is perhaps the most difficult element of serendipity during organizational change, because change requires letting go, but not necessarily throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So it's important to fully understand the reasons behind previous policies, procedures, rules, organizational structures, and goals in order to decide which will support the changes and which will undermine them. Change management requires fluidity and humility in order to let go of an idea that sounded so good on paper but didn't create the desired outcomes. A well-crafted vision is critical to staying true to the ultimate goals of the change initiative. And by keeping this vision in mind, you become much more open, allowing serendipity to stimulate new, unanticipated ideas on how to achieve that vision. And finally, number 5, smile, relax, and realize that you can't plan for everything, but you can proactively respond. This shift in perception is fundamental to not only allowing serendipity to inform your actions during organizational change, but also to ward off burnout. A simple smile enables us to breathe, explore, and move forward. Planning, while a good and necessary foundation, is essentially only a plan, a documented roadmap, but it is not the actual journey. Serendipity keeps you open and curious, able to spot potential challenges and opportunities, and provide a more relaxed response to them. Managing with serendipity allows us to better navigate the unanticipated twists and turns that are inevitable during organizational change. But perhaps more importantly, serendipity allows us to enjoy the ride, reduce the stress, and stay on course to achieve the desired results.